What is the wisest thing somebody has ever told you? Lack of preparation on your part doesn't call for an emergency on mine. A wise man once told me the level of someone's mental breakdown can be measured by the number of inspirational quotes they post. I've never seen someone with their shit together posting inspirational quotes. It's always the dumpster fires. The best way to make money in Vegas is to sell light bulbs. Then LEDs came along and ruined it all. We're back to selling hookers and blow. Guys, let's move some stock. If you can laugh at yourself, you'll always have something to laugh about. Don't remember who told me that. Don't know if they were quoting someone, but it stuck. Don't confuse hard work with good work. Or, said another way, don't confuse working hard with working smart. Work smarter, not martyr. No bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making some other poor dumb bastard die for his country. Patton. So I worked at Arby's back in the day, and we changed company policy to wear twice a day. During business, we had to disassemble the slicer completely, clean the whole thing, and put it back together. We were having a manager meeting about implementation of the new policy and what that would look like. I was pointing out every way it wouldn't work. That store was just always busy. You couldn't have people waiting 10 minutes for a roast beef sandwich. Then, one of the other managers said, "Before we say it's impossible, let's give it a shot." That fucking knocked me on my butt. Up to that point, I was very quick to rule things out over notions that I didn't know. I just felt. And that's not to say I'm a yes man now, because even my co-manager's statement wasn't saying, "We're doing it." It was just give it a shot. And I really think this has revolutionized my adult life. It started with little things. I'd go see a movie I never heard of. I'd tell a waiter to surprise me when placing my order. Because when you have a preference, you're essentially ruling out all other options. And then fast forward 0.11 years, and I have my own company now. It's unorthodox. My competitors hate it. And if you told me I had to attribute the course of my adult life to one thing someone told me once, I think that's it. So how did the slicer thing turn out? Gonna guess that it was easy as hell. Slicers are designed to be taken apart for cleaning. In terms of simplicity of design, I'd say they are a great example. It's never your successful friends posting the motivational quotes on social media. A guy in an office told me this once. Asterisk, 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 whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Oh, that's funny. Asterisk, Michael! Exclamation mark. Asterisk. The harder you work, the luckier you get, Grandma. The smarter you work and the more open-minded you are, i.e. alert for opportunities, the luckier you get. A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. I use this one a lot in a professional setting, but my take on it is this. A smart person learns from their mistakes. A wise person learns from others. And then there's you. Fuck what others think is manly. I think it's unmanly to let others tell you what's manly. Doing happy things is manly enough. A former classmate I really should have talked to a lot more. When I was really young, my father told me this gem. When I was upset about being teased at school, no matter how nice and kind you are, there are always going to be people who don't like you or appreciate what you do. I forget if there was anything else he added afterward. It does sound pessimistic, however I internalized it as to continuing being kind, and not letting a harsh response or cruel treatment bring me down. I think my dad was trying to teach me not to put too much worth into how much worth others put on me, but focus on my own self-worth. Ultimately, in my own perspective, it did help me keep a positive attitude on life. Never miss a good opportunity to shut the hell up, my dad. Learn to like your coffee black. It'll make your life a lot easier. Only people with big insecurities seriously make fun of people. Reddit cringe subs, nervous sweating. Marriage isn't 50-50, it's 100/100ths. People are bastards, they're chocolate-coated bastards with a bastard filling. Everything in moderation, including moderation. Don't ever buy anything new. It's untested, untried, and you'll pay twice as much. Wait. Purchase used. Learn what lasts. Learn what you like and what you just thought you'd like. Don't become a consumer. Become an investor. Quote. Giskt Cobain, 2001. To LCPL lunatic pity. Except for underwear and condoms. Never ask the barber if you need a haircut. When I was very young, a friend once told me, "You don't have time. You take time." I had to get well above 25 to understand the meaning of this. In this world, Elwood, you must be oh so smart, or oh so pleasant. Well, for years I was smart. I recommend pleasant, and you may quote me. When I saw this movie, I wasn't expecting it to change my life. Sometimes we don't get what we expect, but we get what we need. If anyone asks you, "Are you mad at me?" for no reason, ask them if they think you should be mad at them. Monsieur, they've usually done something but just too ashamed to admit it. Honestly, no one has told me that. I made it up myself, but I think it's really helpful also. You're welcome. This isn't always true. For me, I have really bad anxiety and I'm really insecure, so the second someone's behavior pattern changes on a serious issue, I get worried and ask that. If someone asks, "Should I be mad at you?" I see it as they are mad at me and just aren't telling me why, and dodging the question, it just makes things worse. Just be honest and open. Anxious individual here to compromise here. Usually their behavior changes because of something external, like a bad day at work. But my brain will always go, "Nope. It's your fault. They hate you. Even the world's best ping pong player can't beat a wall. Just walk away." Do not fear failure, fear the ability of not trying. My sister once told me that I didn't fear failure. I feared success. I knew how to fail. I didn't know how to succeed. And she was right. Remember, son, dying is gay. I love my dead gay son. Asterisk, don't try it, asterisk. Tries it, you are the chosen one. Quote. Hang loose but don't fall apart. Approach every day like you are the hero of the story. Be the person you've always wished to be. Every day is a new opportunity to become that person. Don't waste another day. I'm a programmer and my boss once told me this. I'm a lazy programmer and I will only hire lazy programmers. Why? Because if you're lazy, you'll spend the time to code it right the first time, so you don't have to keep going back to it to fix it. And it's true. I've been a lazy programmer since. Also because automating shit is awesome. Your biggest strength is also your biggest weakness. It doesn't make sense at first, but the more you think about it, the more profoundly accurate it gets. Basically, the crux of reality. To every catastrophe there are silver linings, and every endeavor for good a latent tragedy unseen. No response is a response. Seems so obvious now, but was life-changing when I heard that and the light bulb went off. If you think about it, do you truly know anyone? Jim Carrey. How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? Jaden Smith. How can Jaden Smith be our real if mirrors aren't eyes? Can mirrors be our eyes if Jaden Smith is real? Can Jaden Smith be our mirrors if eyes aren't real? You don't need to quit if you don't get addicted in the first place. It seems a little dumb, but it really has changed me. My father told me that he quit heavy smoking and drinking to be with my mom. Cold turkey. And he maintained it the rest of his life. However, he always said if he slipped once, then he would never stop. I am prone to getting addicted, somewhat, to even minor things. So I fully avoid anything chemically or physically addictive, when possible. As a note, I know some people are at severe disadvantages regarding some addictions. Born with one, forced into, etc., and are excluded. The onus would rise up the chain to whomever first decided to start it. You cannot choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you react. You are in control of your thoughts and emotions. Perception is everything. Isn't this essentially classical cynicism? Don't expect anyone else to enforce your personal boundaries. Learning this has saved me a ton of disappointment. Never believe a compliment. Always believe criticize, monsieur. This is just a shitty way to live. If you're surrounded by people who only give you fake compliments, find new people to surround yourself with. This isn't true. Most criticism is just people trying to piss you off. And compliments are usually legit. I can only speak as a guy, but dudes rarely compliment each other. So they mean it if they do. Changed my down vote to an up vote as I remembered this. Criticism is not automatically negative. We associate negativity with criticism. But in many cases, especially in a professional setting, criticism is simply advice in furtherance of improvement. Good one. Sounds like something an insecure person would say. Some people need to believe the compliments they get. A lot of them just brush off compliments while holding on to criticisms. Empathy does not mean you join someone's pity party. If you're questioning whether you should send the email, don't send the email. If it's wet and it's not yours, don't touch it. If it's wet and it's not yours, don't touch it. I will leave the stack of wet gold bullions in the mud. People aren't against you, they're for themselves. Nostalgia is a disease. This really takes me back. There are no problems, only solutions. I have a serious drinking solution. See? Much better. In Jamaica they say there are no problems, only situations. Say nothing, then nothing can be said. You're not as high as you think you are when you're up. And you're not as low as you think you are when you're down. If you ever think of eating a bullet, just remember, if you have the balls to pull the trigger, you have the balls to fix shit. Tell the world to fuck off and don't let it break you. Stop looking around for the right person and try to be the right person. Good advice, but sometimes hard to achieve. Marry the right person. This determines 90% of your happiness or misery. My father's last words to me before he died: remember, kid, be nice to some people. He never took shit from anybody and was never fake. He only gave what people deserved. I love you and miss you, Dad. Former boss and now close friend of mine had a saying: I am 100% responsible for the outcome of this conversation. I first overheard her mumbling it to herself as she was rehearsing some pitch she was about to make to ask her boss for something. I asked her about it, and what she meant by it was simple. No matter how this conversation turns out, I have to take full responsibility for it. If it goes poorly, I don't get to blame the other person and say they were just unreasonable, or I'll never figure out how to get what I need. If I'm going into a conversation, if it's not with a total stranger, then I should know what they want or need to hear to understand my side. If I do that and they disagree, then either I didn't frame my case sufficiently or correctly, or I don't truly understand my own position. And if I am dealing with a total stranger, I need to understand how to present in that context. I've carried that lesson through my entire career, and while I'm not some high-powered CEO, wouldn't want that anyway. The hours suck. I've enjoyed some modest success, and I attribute a great deal of it, almost all of it, to my ability to negotiate and present my arguments in a way that tends to bring leadership around to my way of thinking. That came at the price of hours and sometimes days of introspection, contemplation, consideration, and working to understand others' motivation in order to get what I need. Own your shit. Don't blame your mistakes or failures on others. At the same time, take pride in your accomplishments. Note, there is a dark side to this. You can take it too far, and take too much responsibility. When you're taking the weight of others' mistakes as your own, or crediting someone else over much for your own success, you're doing neither of you a favor. Own your shit, but set the expectation that others own theirs as well. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.